spit. Hello everyone, welcome back to another quarantine tutorial. I decided to peel myself off of my couch after probably the 80th hour of playing video games today alone, because I A, couldn't sit there any longer, and B, I feel like I'm getting to a point where so many of you are probably getting to, where, you know, having our hair grown out as much as it probably is, at least in my case, it's not even about like how I look. Like, I don't really care how I look at home or on like a Zoom call or anything, but I personally, especially having just bleached this right before I went under lockdown, I feel like I have spider webs literally all over my head all the time, and it's making me crazy. So there's no telling how long we're going to be in this sort of lockdown period, I decided that I'm just going to sort of get rid of all of it. And so I'm sort of using this opportunity to kind of show you guys what you can do with, you know, kind of cleaning up your hair and whatnot if you're just getting to a point where you can't stand it. So I'm gonna do two parts. I'm gonna do my beard again, only a lot shorter. And then we're going to see what we can do with the hair on top, and also to give you some techniques and tricks on how to do it yourself. So I was trying to grow out my beard some. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna leave it throughout this whole process. That sounds great. But I'm just tired of eating it all the time. So we're just gonna get rid of it entirely. I'm going to start with a 4. We're just gonna do all of it for now, just like every little bit of it. Just get all that hair out. And while I do this, because this is a little bit of a time-consuming process, I do want to sort of shout out to all those people out there who have been very generous and very kind and giving, not just to me, but to many people who have been affected by this sort of pandemic and the lockdown, whether people are currently not working or have lost their jobs, and people in the arts industry and the nightlife industry and the service industry. You know, I've talked to so many people, and you know, it is very clear that so many of you out there have been, you know, just so generous and kind. And I just really want to thank you. It's like, do not underestimate how important that is to so many of us in surviving. And also, you know, to underestimate how difficult it sometimes is to swallow your pride and accept donations, I guess. Especially for professionals. It's like we're not quite accustomed to really being in that position. So you all have made it a lot easier, and I thank you for that. So again, this is just a 4. We're just really taking everything down. Now, if you watched my last beard video, when we were talking about the necklines, you can see what I mean, how when my beard was longer, my neckline would be a lot lower, but now it just looks like super low. And also proving this sort of point that I was showing earlier, I mean, my chin is a lot wider, but if you can imagine, my hair were all brown. You can see that when your neckline is too low, again, I'm not really the best case to like be an example, but you can see how, like, you know, subconsciously the eye will actually think that the face is this much bigger. So even though that's just hair on your neck, if your neckline comes below your chin, the eye just sees you as having this like sort of like saggy face when you probably don't. Again, usually, like in the last one I said I don't usually run clippers over my mustache, but I mean, desperate times right now, I just cannot be bothered with it. This is also the most uncomfortable thing to do. I hate doing this on other people, especially because you just stab yourself in the nose repeatedly. Okay, so we went ahead and did the target length, which was a 4 guard. So now like the rest is really, really simple. We're just going to clean up the neck. I'll show you how to put the line in at this sort of length. Just like I did in the last video. I'm just gonna kind of clean this up first. Just get all that out of the way. God, I feel so overgrown. This feels like a fresh spring rain right now. I just feel cleaner. Oh. Just like the last video, we pushed down. Get that hair out of there. So if you're gonna cut your hair, you're gonna need a secondary mirror. But I want to come back to what we were talking about with, there you go. Finding the point at which you should be, I'm having difficulty seeing myself, where you should be putting your neckline. And so it should be, again, like right at the curve of the throat. So this part right here is actually okay, like right in the front. You can see that spine is out here that I have to take care of. One thing that I'll often do, which looks really weird, when I stuck your face back like this, and like that, and then, so then when you extend it, it's a much cleaner line, but without being like a solid like, zzz. This is honestly like one of the best things that you can do for this line is just sucking your whole face into your neck. So you can see that was pretty easy. Looking at me head on, looks a lot better. Perfect. Now we're just gonna go through. So as you can see, I think my last video was like 26 minutes long or something to trim my beard. If you have a shorter beard like this, it's a hell of a lot easier. Of course, so from here, we are gonna do just a few little sort of like adjustments. Cheers. We did a 4 as our target, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and do a 3 in through here. I'm gonna scoop it out. So that just sort of cleans up the under chin a little bit more. From there, we're also going to, same deal with the walking the blade up, or pivoting the wrist pivot. Start down here and pivot up. I think that's really important because we have cheekbones, that'll naturally create more width here. And so when you're at this long of beard, that too can also make it seem like your face is rounder, but it's not. It's just like your cheekbones pushing your sideburns out, whatever you want to call these days. Cool. And then again, So you can see I have some of these hairs that lie out above. It's actually a lot more than I used to. But you know what I was saying in the previous one is everybody should have some sort of natural line in there. Do your very, very best to follow that line. Again, do not try to sort of recreate the line because you want to follow the natural contours of the face because it's just more of a pleasing sort of look. Also, if you tend to get a lot of hair from your mustache in your mouth, don't be afraid to get right under here in these corners. And that'll help a lot because a lot of these hairs just sort of grow in right there. So beard is done, super easy. It could be straighter, but I mean, I'm kind of in sort of like I don't really care that much right now. I'm just trying to get it off sort of way, but you can take all the time that you want to on your own shit. Okay, so with the hair, I'm gonna go over a couple different things as we get into it. Like one, there's just the sort of like just a trim, just sort of getting you either because you don't want to spend all the time doing the haircut or you're just trying to get through to another haircut. So easy way to kind of figure out what you want to do is to take this is the number 4. So we're looking to see where it hits. So I don't know if, yeah, you can see that. This would take about a 1/4 of an inch off. So let's start there, just as for the sake of trimming. So we're pressing flat against the head with this part of the comb right here. And then when we start to feel the teeth leave the head, we stop. So the head, as you can see, the head is round, but we do not follow the round when we're doing this area. That's what's gonna help you sort of like blend the shorter lengths into the longer lengths. So as you can see, that was a 4. I just wanted to show you that if you were really just sort of going for a trim, you would do the 4 and then you would just sort of take a 5 and just kind of flick it up through there. Again, nothing about this video is literally to teach you how to be able to cut your own hair because it's really hard to do on yourself. This is literally just, again, if you're like me and you just need to get the hair off of your head and you're just going crazy and insane, but you don't necessarily want to shave your head, that's what this is for. So you see we did a 4 up, then to a 5. A lot of my clients go a lot shorter, so I'm gonna go ahead and show us how to start with a 2. I'm not gonna go lower than a 2. I know a lot of you guys do skin and stuff, but you just can't do it on yourself. So same thing, we're taking the 2 up. Hold the ear forward. Again, making sure all of the pressure is on this part of the comb attachment. So that way when we feel the points of the teeth leaving the head, we know to lift off and to not keep going up. A little bit more head on like that. Now we are doing a little bit of a sort of visual where like we are watching to a certain degree about this line that we're creating. It's especially easy because I have these two different hair colors, and honestly, I look really cool right now. But this line that I'm creating is being created by following the butt of the comb attachment and letting it go out when the teeth leave the head. Okay, so here's one thing that a lot of people find really weird. So that's the back of my head looks like. Okay, cool. So we can see that we need to do here. And it's really important we can sort of like, there we go. So we need to go along here. What's really important is that we touch it. We just sit here and just feel what that feels like. Because what I'm going to tell you to do, because not everybody knows how to work in the mirror, it's actually easier if you close your eyes and do it completely based on feel. Just remember that line that you just like, that you touched in your head. That's the area that you're going to. I guess I'm slightly ambidextrous, I don't know, but I'm apparently able to use both hands when I need to. So let's take a look at that. Cool. So yeah, I mean, not bad considering I'm not looking at a thing. We can see, wait, where are we at? There we go. So let's see. Of course it's a mess, it's a bit of a mess. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit here and there. Cool. So that was a 2. That is the shortest length that we're going to go with for now. We're going to now go to a 4. We're going to skip up 1. Gotta come here. Cool. So we got a 4, and so what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna use the teeth again. I'm literally going to, right in these corners, stand it up on the teeth. And I'm really taking the time to keep it, the blade the same distance away from the scalp or from the head. And this is giving us an even length right there. Okay, that's harder with my left hand. Again, disclaimer, I am not a super professional at cutting my own hair, but as long as I've been doing this, probably better than most. But so you see, I was talking about in my last video how important it is to have like an actual professional set of clippers with guards And then this is exactly why, because like we use these teeth for, you know, very, very many different things. Cool. So now you can see we have this area done. Of course, this area needs some working, but that's just blending. Like blending is a completely different sort of thing than taking hair out. So it's a little bit harder to do that comb effect from the back. So instead we're just gonna eyeball it with the mirror. We're gonna do, again, we're doing flat to the surface again, but now we're going in a little bit, angling it in. Now we're trying to cut through some of this through here. It's a lot more difficult to get a perfectly even fade and blend when you have two different colors of hair that you're working with, but honestly, for this video, it's pretty great. So we're back to the original technique of just using the butt of the comb attachment as our leverage. Only this time we're going a little bit more inward than out. Cool. So you see we did our length here when we walked the teeth across, and then by putting it flat, we were able then to blend that in. And so yeah, that was a 2 to a 4, so you can see, if I can see, obviously we have this little bit here, so that's where we're gonna take the 3. And at this point, because it is visual, we cannot do it with our eyes closed. All right. If you're right-handed, you hold this to your left, find your head, find it in the phone, cross over. Boom. And again, I don't expect any of you guys to be able to do this perfectly at all. This shit is wild. All right, we're gonna do the same thing over here. Same back here. Cool. Oh, there we go. So pretty even, especially considering I have 2 different colors of hair. You will find that like the issues that I have here in the back is not only am I blonde with roots, but I'm also balding. But this is also like one of my least favorite areas of my hair because it gets so spider webby. But from this point, instead of walking the teeth, because that's a little too difficult, whereas we used a 4 to walk the teeth, I'm gonna switch to a 6 and just do it flat. against the way the hair grows. Again, if you need to like assess your head and then put the mirror down and close your eyes and feel it out, like you can literally just feel it out. It's so much easier when you're not accustomed to working in mirrors. Had a lot of experience with mirrors. Now for this, ugh, that was gross. Okay, so not bad. We were able to do the sides. We were able to get a nice shape that doesn't look too like, you know, that's one of the things that we want to avoid because we're not just shaving our head, is being able to create some sort of like angle, some sort of like squareness within our parietal ridge, so we don't just look like my head looks like a peanut. So trying to avoid that. I'm not even going to bother showing anybody how to cut the top with scissors. I am just going to show you. Just start with an 8. You should have an 8 if you have like a full set. And honestly, just like take it all off. An 8 I think is 1.5 inches. No, it's 1 inch, yeah. If you don't want it quite 1 inch, you can walk the teeth like that. But again, I just can't be bothered at this point. I'm just trying to like be able to not feel gross every day. I'm really getting those corners here. I am so curious if any of you guys try this out there, like totally post your pictures in the comment section. I'm posting this on Facebook. I don't know if I can do shit like that on YouTube, but like, like I'm just so curious how it turns out for you all. But there you go. So now I have a haircut and I look a hell of a lot cleaner. The beard looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. Let's just do a few of the little detail bits around the ears and on the neck. Okay. So when we do the ears, we're just going to go like that. I always recommend pull the ear down this way. Don't pull it down that way because it will, I mean, you will eventually. But to get this hair just a little bit lower so you can get a nice clean cut on there. Now to get the back part, we'll kind of, but also you don't even have to do this part if you don't want to. You can have somebody else do it for you. If you like are quarantined with someone, I wouldn't have your neighbor come over. Don't break quarantine for your ears. Same thing over here. You would think I would get better at making these videos this long into it, but I feel like I just keep getting drunker and kind of dumber throughout this whole period. Whatever. All right, so the neck. I have an insane neck, but basically, so what I do is I always push the hair on my neck. So push it, push it, push it, push it. So like, and to get this line right here, just push it across. It is really difficult to get straight when your head is constantly turning to look at itself. But I mean, hopefully most people aren't going to see you since you're, you know, stuck inside your house like the rest of us. But seriously, pushing is like the easiest way. Pushing the trimmer up is the easiest way of doing this. And then you kind of just like scrape off the rest. So I personally have back hair and I just don't like going beneath my shirt because it looks weird when I take my shirt off. So I'm gonna push down. And then clean myself off. I lost you guys. Anyway. But yeah, so there you have it. Very, very easy. Well, I mean, it's not really easy, but like kind of a simplified way of cutting your hair that with a lot of effort you can kind of try at home. You can see why we went with the 2 versus, you know, hopefully it's even. I can barely fucking tell on this phone. It's just not really worth going to a 1. The amount of blending that you have to do is astronomical. And I just don't have the patience right now. But anyway, yeah, so there's another quarantine tutorial. I hope you all do well, and I can't wait to see you guys again eventually. All right, love you, peace out.